Hello, hello, good morning or good afternoon. It's afternoon now. Welcome to it might be morning somewhere. Get hired, stay hired. This is a show for executive job seekers who want to have the edge in their job seeking success and beyond. We're here to help you with the marketing and mindset brilliance that you need to shine brightly before, during, and after your interviews, and once you've got the role as well. My name's Sarah Farmer. I'm an executive coach and I specialize in imposter syndrome and helping people just like you get hired faster and stay hired longer. And I'm joined by the visibility queen herself, Vanessa Ashworth, who will tell you more about what you bring to the world.
What do I bring to the world? Oh gosh, I can't stop thinking about sherry and mince pies now after that. I bring sherry and mince pies.
You do?
No, John. So I am Vanessa Ashworth. I am a marketing professional, a CMO. And so I am here to help you be visible, to prove your credibility and to be memorable so that the right job finds you and the right person finds you magnetic. But also then when you're in role, to make sure that you can keep on being visible, proving your credibility and being memorable so that you're visible to the right people and keep the role.
Exactly. What more can you ask for? So do say hello if you are there in the chat. Let us know who you are, if you're looking for a job, or just say hello. Say anything you want, really. Today is our last show before Christmas. That's why I'm dressed in red. You haven't followed. Yeah. Okay. You've got. Good. All right. Lovely. It's our last show before Christmas, and we're going to be talking about what do we do between now and January the 2nd, when people start to head back into the office or head back into thinking about getting a role with more earnest, maybe. But what do we do? So we're going to be looking today at a few things. One is what to do between now and January the 2nd. We're also going to be looking at, should you thank people for interviews? I've got some thoughts on that after a conversation with somebody last week. And there was the other bit is about what can you do to be more visible in between now and January, to help you stand out from the crowds. Whiskey and mince pies. Yeah, I mean, why not? So we were just discussing before this that maybe it's time just to put your slippers on, have a bottle of sherry. I'm sure a bottle's probably a bit too much, and some mince pies, but you know what? The choice is yours. So let us know where you are. If you're looking for a role, what are you looking for? We have a long one coming here. I'll let you drive that.
Okie doke. So Darren says, hello, Darren. As of tomorrow, I will be leaving my current role due to redundancy. Sorry to hear that, Darren. I've been with the same company for 21 years in various marketing roles. I'm 51 years old, you're still young, and now facing a brave new world. I've been updating my CV, LinkedIn profile, begun networking, and will be engaging with an outplacement service. That's really nice. I had that when I left my role after 16 years. I also plan to start contacting agencies this side of Christmas in order to be ready for January. I'm also in conversation with a local craft coffee business to help them grow the online side of their, which was moved up, online side of their business. This will help keep my skills sharp and involve learning new performance marketing such as Amazon AMS. This is to help me keep me sane whilst looking for a new role but won't pay the bills. What advice can you give me for the immediate aftermath? Right.
Okay.
You start with mindset.
Okay. So Darren, first of all, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for a great question. First thing I'll say is you're not alone. I'm personally working with quite a few people at the moment who are in a very similar position, but I like the fact that you're coming to this as soon as it's happening rather than waiting a few weeks. Now, first thing is to think about how you're feeling and what you're thinking about the redundancy, because what I'm seeing with my clients is the impact this has months later. There's still these old stories we're telling ourselves, feelings of, disgruntled, upset, angry, all of that. We need to deal with all of that. And Vanessa, you've been there. I have been there a long time ago. But you've got to grieve that process if that's what you need to do. Or if you're happy just to move on, that's also great. But I would imagine you have a lot of thoughts going on in your mind. The fact that you've been in that role for such a long time, you've been very safe in a certain organization for a very long time, you may have lots of things going around your head, the what ifs, can I, should I? So I would be looking at, what are you believing, what are you thinking, what are you feeling? And is that going to optimize whatever you do next, in however you reach out, because how we think, how we feel, how we behave are all intrinsically linked. And if we're not feeling like I'm excited, I can't wait for a new job, I've got this, that sort of thing, we're going to be showing up in a way that isn't as conducive to being as effective as we could be. And it's not always easy to be in that mindset. So that would be where I would start from a mindset point of view, is make sure what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're believing about yourself is optimized. And then the second part is how to be visible and what to do. I think the fact that you're getting involved in outplacement services is brilliant. Make sure they are good and look after you. But Vanessa, I would come to you on that, because this is something that you have done and are in the process of doing.
So, Darren, sympathies, it's a blow, isn't it? It's the same thing happened to me in 2020 when all kind of senior marketers were kind of let go in the COVID time. And I'd been with a company for 16 years. So, and it's a shocker, and, after such a long time, but, so kind of while it hurts, I would say go to those people in the industry who you've worked with and get some references from them whilst it's all still quite fresh. I would say look back at, if you've been with this company for 21 years, you've had some amazing learning experiences with them that will be really relevant. And there are lots of companies in that growth stage, no matter where they are, they need you to get them to that next level. So think about whether you've worked with things like private equity, international growth, account-based marketing, rebranding, mergers, acquisitions, all these things that do happen quite often when you've been with a company for a long time, because that's really, really valuable experience. So kind of lean into that, look at all those brilliant results that you've delivered, and get that top of the page on your CV. And yeah, you're a marketer, so it's all about being visible, proving your credibility, telling stories about all the amazing things you've learned and that you've delivered in these past 20 years. And be memorable, stand out, do something a bit different, so that when January comes, they'll be knocking on your door.
Yeah, and I'd love to know, if you're comfortable sharing this, what are you most excited about? Maybe nothing, maybe lots of things. And what are you most worried about? It'd be really good to get a bit more detail on that, because then we can both give you a bit more help, support, direction, depending on what those answers are. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that on live, then please send that to both of us as well afterwards, and we can send you our thoughts on that too. So I think we just double clicked. No, we didn't. Hey, right, Melinda. Hello, London-based, looking for a strategic leadership role in the legal tech sector. Melinda's ace. If you are looking for somebody like this in the legal tech sector, get in quick, because she's hot property, and you need her. I do know her, by the way. I'm not just saying that. She absolutely is. Malcolm, Darren Pitt, could you ask the coffee business for a consultancy fee and perhaps put yourself forward to be a permanent asset to the business? Listen, there's lots of things that people can do. Being made redundant is a life event, lead you through a grief process. Yeah, absolutely. Even if you're ready for change, it's still a blow. This is normal. You're absolutely right, Melinda. I got made redundant, and I wanted to be. In fact, I asked to be, because I knew there was redundancies coming up. My boss was really kind and gave me redundancy, and I still felt awful afterwards. I was like, why didn't you fight for me? Why didn't you beg me to stay? Let's hear how you're feeling, and don't be surprised if it does feel like grief, because it can do. One thing I'd be very careful of is making any rash decisions, unless you absolutely have to. I'd assume, because you've been there for a long time, and you're only just finishing now, that there will be some money in a package, so you don't hopefully need to jump urgently into anything. I would take the time to think about, I know you're 51, I'm 54, and I say this to all my clients who are older than me, same age as me, is what you really want to be when you grow up. What do you really want? Now you've got the perfect opportunity to do whatever you want, still be in your role, but maybe in a sector you've not worked in, anything like that, and maybe get a bit excited about, what could I be doing differently? I'm going to leave you to drive, because otherwise I'm going to be double pressing buttons.
Yeah, the other thing I would say as well is that you think, so you've been with the company for a long time, so it's been very stable. You will have seen that company go through huge digital transformation. You'll have built new websites. You'll have built CRM systems. You'll have done all that, and companies need that. And whilst we're all kind of hearing about AI and how you can make AI work in marketing and things like that, the truth is that most companies out there don't have a decent CRM system to use AI with. They still need that digital transformation piece before they can then start getting the beauty of everything that AI can deliver. And most people are only using AI on that very superficial kind of content creation piece at the minute. So don't fear that. That's nothing to worry about. You've been with that company a long time. You will have dealt with all kinds of problems, and leadership is all about problem solving. And then we find the experts to deliver what it is once we've decided where it is we're going and what we need to do. Yeah, as Sarah said, take some time, think about what you really love, think about the parts of the job that give you absolute joy and what you're really good at. Are you a brand-led marketer? Are you performance? Where does your affinity really sit? And take some time then to kind of find roles and find companies that will allow you to be that person.
And also have a think about what you'd like to learn. One thing that Melinda's just done, and you share it in the chat, Melinda, because I can't remember exactly, but Melinda's just been back to school, or back to university actually, to do an AI related course. And yeah, the stuff we can do that we don't have time to do when we're working. So you can make it a really positive sabbatical time, and then use those skills and tools to come back even stronger than you were before. So yeah, Malcolm, I've recently been contacted by a recruiter who informs me that the firm she represents is investing in compliance related roles for 2026. Any role will probably start at the end of January. Then we've got, she's currently putting me forward for a role. Yes.
Good.
Yes. Good stuff. Darren, yeah, definitely feeling grief, but have an amazing package. Yeah, and the thing is, it's thank God you've got some breathing space, and you absolutely deserve it. But don't underestimate the grief. Get into communities, join this program weekly. Obviously, we're not around now for a couple of weeks, but there's all sorts of groups out there that you can join to meet like-minded people. And if you want to chat to me, then you can just book in for a half-hour conversation with me. There's no charge to that whatsoever, and we can just have a quick chat and try and maybe give you something or give you some ideas that you haven't thought of yet. So feel free to do that if you want to. So one of the things we want to talk about today is, should you say thank you? Should you be grateful after an interview? And this, I'd be really interested for those of you that are listening into this. What are your thoughts on this? Should we? Is it right to thank people after an interview? Is there, maybe there's no right or wrong? You know what I'm going to say, Vanessa, but what are your thoughts on this?
So I definitely think, and it is interesting because a friend of mine called me out on that and said, "Oh, that's BS. I wouldn't do that." Because when I've had an interview with somebody, when I've had a meeting with someone, I'll then send an email to say thank you. But I want to be memorable. So visibility, credibility, memorable.
Yes,
so
yes.
I want to say something in that email that is personal to kind of what we discussed. And so recently, for example, for the role that I'm going for at the minute, from that first interview, I came away, I got on well with the people so well, I felt really energized. And so I put that in the email. I felt really energized by our conversation. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. So I think, yes, it's polite, and yes, send an email because you want to be memorable. But I would make it a bit personal to be memorable. And of course, it just shows the people that you are absolutely interested in the role. So I think it's good practice. But let's say my friend called me out and said, "Nah, that's rubbish. Don't do that."
No, well, I think one, absolutely follow up after every interview, without a doubt. 100% make it personal, make it feel energized, interesting. My issue is when people say things like, "Thank you for your time." That I cannot bear, because that's an old sales tactic that just makes me want to vomit. So please stop doing that, because it's just a filler that means nothing on its own. But my concern is that people say, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me the time. Yeah, exactly. So my point is, always be polite, always go back and have a follow-up, but be very careful of the intent behind that. Your intent in that particular example was to say, oh my gosh, I was energized. It was a great experience. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed it. That is very different to, thank you so much for giving up your time today. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. Oh my God, no, you're not. I mean, if you are, they're just going to see that you're easy to walk over. The thing is, think where that is coming from. That isn't coming from a case of I'm just being polite. That sounds like you're about this big and they're that big. And all of a sudden you're on a back foot. So what I want to encourage people to do at every stage of the interview is think with emotional intelligence. If I believed in myself and I had the confidence, how would I express this thing that I want to say?
Yeah.
If I'm grateful, what is that saying? I'm grateful because I'm so desperate because no one else has spoken to me. And the thing is, you might not be, but the words that we use do matter, because they do portray an intent. So get your intent right, get your mindset right, and get your message right so that you leave with the right visibility, memorability that you've just talked about. Does that make sense?
So it's just finding the right words, isn't it? Because of course you are grateful to be put forward for this opportunity. If you feel like it's a great opportunity, if you feel that you're a great fit, then you do feel privileged to be in that process, especially if you've been out of work for a while. So I guess it's just finding the right words to use, isn't it? To put yourself on the same level and to kind of put forward again that you're a great fit for the role and for the company and for everything that you're talking about. Yeah.
So the fact that you're feeling privileged says that, thank God, finally somebody's looking at me. That could be a link, right? That could be a thought that goes with it. I'm not saying it always is. You could just generally think, wow, this is the job I've been waiting for. Now that's different.
Yes.
I feel really blessed that I'm in a position to be looking for a job and this one's come up. It's very different to, thank the Lord, a job's come up and I'm going for it.
No, absolutely. So like the one that I'm going for at the minute, it's a great fit for so many reasons, kind of with my values and kind of the volunteering and the eradicating loneliness. It feels like a really good company to work for. And so,
But we have to remember that we want people to realise, especially at the exec level, not that I don't think anyone should, we should do this below as well, but at the executive level, we're meeting with people that are our peers. It's a meeting of minds. They're not, they're just normal human beings who happen to have the job and they're going to help us get the job. But we are giving something that they need and they are giving something that we need. So we're on a level. So this is what I want to get across, is remember that they're lucky to be meeting you as much as you are to them. There isn't actually any luck about it. It isn't this perfect timing. I'm so delighted I've got this opportunity, because if I had been in a job, I've missed this perfect thing and it looks perfect. And I feel your energy. And that's why that interview was so energizing and great, is because it was a perfect fit. So hurry up, give her the job. Got hang around. Ridiculous. What are you waiting for? Christmas.
So what does Melinda say? She's a fan of thanking someone for an interview via a specifically personalised follow-up email. When Melinda was hiring, most people didn't do this, but I appreciated when people did, even if they were not the right fit. It made them stand out
in a positive way.
In a positive way, excellent. And then Robert writes, do we both press it at the same time?
Yeah, I'm getting hands off again.
Okay. Robert says, hi Robert, I always write and say thank you to try and position myself, but I do not think it adds that much value unless it's valued by the addressee. I think it's a memorable thing, isn't it?
Well, this is what, going back to what you just said, Vanessa, is why am I writing back to say thank you? Thank you for a really engaging conversation. What are you thanking them for? And what I really enjoyed was, and I really feel that this is a great fit, and I trust you feel the same, and I look forward to continuing the conversations. So go a bit further.
So Melinda just says exactly what you're saying. I like phrasing the thank yous. I really enjoyed discussing this challenge.
Yeah,
And following our call, I also thought, brilliant thought. I look
yeah,
forward to speaking to you again soon. Yeah,
nice.
absolutely. And that's it. So, yep. Sinead, hi Sinead. Darren Pitt would advise that you take a break and take time to process the end of something and decide what to do next. Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
it is a good time to reflect, isn't it? And
And
just
it's Christmas as well.
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. Well done. Good. Absolutely. Because we're not, when we're so used to working as well and being busy all the time, it's so easy to just think, I've got to be busy. I've got to be busy. Actually, the best thing, some of the best advice I've ever given is do nothing.
Mm.
Calm, settle, enjoy Christmas. You've got a whole year ahead of you to find your next brilliant job. That's what I want you to be thinking.
Yeah. And I think Christmas is for all of us, isn't it? It is a time to stop, to wind down, to kind of spend time with our families and things like that. And I think, I know a lot of people don't like New Year's resolutions, but I think it's a good time to think, especially if you're not in a role, what do you want 2026 to look like? Where do you want to go? What do you want to learn? And reflect back on the year we've just had and kind of how you've made progress this year, and how you've been productive or whatever. Look back on all the good things and think about what you want to achieve next year. And that will help you then form that perfect role and how you're going to be in that perfect role. What kind of leader are
Exactly.
you going to be?
I mean, I know you're a massive fan of this, and you had mood boards and all sorts of vision boards and things like that. And part of the work that's really, really important and really helpful to help people move forward is we need to do something with our brain called future pacing. So vision boards, mood boards, they're not just there for fun. They actually do something called future pacing. And future pacing allows us to think, feel, and believe, smell, touch in the most glorious detail what we want in the future. And when we do that, and if anyone's interested in this, by the way, there's a really good exercise I use on one of my programs, which is by an NLP practitioner, neuro linguistic programming practitioner, which is a 10-minute exercise I can send you. It's just a link. To help get you into a deep relaxation state once you've decided what you really want. So there's an order to this. We've got to think, first of all, what do I want in the future? Right. Go large. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let if, but I can't, I shouldn't. Just go crazy. And then you can start to narrow it down. What do I want to be doing? What do I want to be feeling? What do I want to be? Who do I want to be working with? Where do I want to be living? What do I want people to be saying about me at the end of 2026? All of that. Get really creative and spend some time thinking about it, and then measure how it makes you feel. Now, if I mark this out of 7, if it's not a 6 or a 7 out of 7, you've done something wrong. You should be dead excited by this. All right. And if you're not, there's something missing, which probably usually is I'm holding back because I've said I can't really do that, but what I really want is. So there's a lot of self-limiting beliefs in there that you might need to bust away. And if it feels inspirational, it feels emotive, you feel for it, it's probably a really good thing. Now, what that does to your brain is it gets really excited and it sends a message to your brain to go, right, this is going to happen by the end of 2026. This is my plan. Mm-hmm. Your brain is waiting for a message to tell it what to do. Now, the alternative is you don't tell it anything and it just goes, I'll make it up. We'll try that. We'll do this. I'll go there. Oh, disappointment. Didn't like that. Didn't like this. So what it does is it saves you loads of time. It gives your brain a picture of the future, and it allows you then to go, right, if I'm going to do that, what do I need to be thinking? What do I need to be feeling? What do I need to be believing about myself? And therefore, what do I need to be doing? You now have your plan ready for January the 2nd. The 1st, everyone's a bit worse for wear. So January the 2nd.
So Melinda, as I'm thinking the same as Melinda, I'd like to know what this exercise is because it does sound fascinating, and I'd like more information.
What I'll do is I'll pop it into the comments on this post,
right?
So everyone gets access to it. So I'll do that. It may not be straight away because I've got to pop out straight after this, but it will be at some stage today.
You reminded me of something similar that I did on a kind of courage, braver kind of course, Be Braver, and Caroline had us write down a list of things that we kind of would like to do, but we will never do. So, like I'd like to, I can't move to Italy, for example. I can't go and live in Italy. I can't write a book. I can't. And all the things we thought about, but we've just dismissed it. We can't do it because of whatever. And she made us write this list of I can'ts. And then at the end of that, we had to kind of go and scrub out the T. So it said, I can do this. And you're right. It physically makes a change in your brain, because then you start thinking, I could do that. And you do get excited about the idea, and you think, why can't I? Of course I can. And it was, so yeah, I'd really like that NLP exercise.
It's great. And it's the thing you want to do first, though, is have your clear vision of the future. That isn't in there. But what it does is it takes you through a guided meditation so that you then utilize that vision. And it's just a really good way of embodying it and seeing how it feels when you're in a deep relaxation state. I love it. And I love it. Some of my clients aren't quite so keen on it because they feel it's a bit woohoo. But if you've done the right things first, it's great. Good, Malcolm. Please do. You just be careful of the intent, and and just think, if I was receiving that, what would it sound like to me? Do I sound like I'm really needy and desperate and grateful? Do I want to sound like that? Probably not. I'm not saying you do, but just be a little bit careful. Yes, I will give you more information. No problem. Absolutely. Yes, it is. I will put it on the chat in this, so everybody can see it, download it. It's just on YouTube. So we were talking about, before I went back into this, we were talking about what you want, and then the future pacing side of things. And then the other thing we wanted to talk about is what do you do between now and January the 2nd? Do you do what Vanessa might want to as well? What Vanessa wants to do is put on slippers, drink sherry, and eat mince pies, and basically just turn the world off. You're not going to, I know that. Or do we do something else? So if you have done the exercise where you've started to see what the future looks like, and you're excited about it, and you've done that future pacing thing, and you've got clarity now about what do I need to be doing, you can then start to plan your content. And I don't just mean content for LinkedIn, I mean content for who you're going to call, your list of people to call, all of that. So I'm not the visibility expert. I'm the one that helps give you a kick up the bum so you can be visible. But back over to the visibility queen. I'm not going to let you just sit and eat mince pies.
I'm not going to. And I've not even got a bottle of sherry in, so I can't hit that quite just yet anyway. I've not bought a bottle of sherry in years, but it's just that idea.
It's the idea, yeah.
But no, so I think there's a few things we can do. Because you're right, I am thinking now, I want to wind down. I've obviously got my office tree up. Yesterday, we put up the real tree in the living room. I want to dress the rest of it. I want to get ready for Christmas now. I've got quite a few events to plan for. So there's lots going on. And so I kind of want to wind down the job search bit, and the feeling that I've got to come here every day to my desk and do things. So I think what I'm going to do is, there's quite a few things we do, isn't it? I think it's, if you're a job hunter, there are things we can do. And I was thinking I could send a Christmas email or a Christmas message to people who I've interviewed with earlier in the year, or my network, my connections, to kind of say Merry Christmas and I'm still looking, or whatever, or it was a nice, whatever it is you've got to talk about.
I'm just going to jump in there.
Go on.
So Merry Christmas. I'm still looking. You are not going to say that.
Just off the top of your head.
Say that at all. You can say something similar, which is I am, really excited about a future role, something, but not that. Mm-hmm. All right, be careful with your intent. Sorry, carry on.
No, but this is it. But I think it's a good excuse to contact and remind people to be visible and memorable, people who we've been in contact with, and whether that's people we've interviewed with earlier in the year, or maybe people who we forgot to ask for a reference and things like that. So I think, and I think you were saying as well, Sarah, the idea that if you want to talk, if you want help with anything in the new year.
So it's what we were saying before we came on the show is it's actually things like sending messages on a Friday always land better, because people are in a better mood. Coming up to Christmas, once people have finished or started getting in the Christmas spirit, people are more open and much more willing at this time of year to help other people. So I was half joking when I said don't say that. I mean, there's a way of saying
it's finding the right word.
Finding the right words. But if you send Christmas messages now, but with an intent, something useful. So it's like if I've spoken to someone in a discovery call and then I never hear from them again, what I will tend to do, and if this ends up being you, expect this to happen, is I will say farewell for now or something like that. And it was a real pleasure talking to you. We talked about this. This is what you wanted to change or learn. It's obviously not the right time at the moment, but my door is always open, and I'd absolutely relish the opportunity to work with you, because that is actually true. When I've spoken to someone, I really want to help. And what you tend to find is that then people will come back to you and say, oh, actually, the reason it's not the right time is this, or I do want to do it, I've just forgotten, or I've missed an email, something. And sometimes people are just genuinely ghosting you, and that's okay. Yeah. But out of those numbers of times you do that, you'll get some really positive responses. The reason we don't follow up is because we think, oh, well, they just don't like us. They just don't want us. But we've got to remember, not everybody's going to remember that we're looking for a job, that, anything. We're just a number to them. There's lots of numbers in their minds. So do something that reminds them of what that conversation was about. So when we're talking about, people that you've been interviewed you've been interviewed by in the past, it was great to meet you. It was a shame that it didn't come to. However, I am looking for the absolute role, blah, blah, blah. And, my door's open.
Yeah.
If you'd like to revisit next year, because what happens is if that daft person that didn't employ Vanessa has employed someone else and then realised they should have employed Vanessa, and they're 6 months in going, oh, I can't go back to her now. All of a sudden, Vanessa's gone, yes, she can. Right? Yeah, but people feel bad, so they won't come back to you necessarily. Yeah. So, yeah, I that's clear. I know I had a good old ramble there, but makes sense?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Go on. Melinda asks, query about LinkedIn post engagement. In order to evaluate posts, what's a good target number? Yeah, there isn't one. I see LinkedIn tells me this, but don't have context. So, Melinda, the LinkedIn, the algorithm is against you at the minute, and you can feel like your post has completely died because after an hour it's still only got 100 impressions. So there's the good numbers are hard to get these days. Whereas comments, if you put the right comment on the right person's post,
thousands
can get thousands of views. So it's difficult to say. I think at the minute, getting 1,000 impressions on a post at the moment, to me, is success. And I've got 14,000 followers.
Well, I'll add to that. My posts, which are absolutely brilliant.
Of course, they are. Absolutely.
They're so important and they're absolutely brilliant.
Full of value.
Often, I used to get thousands and thousands and thousands. Now I'm lucky if you get around 500 impressions.
Yeah, it is.
However, I posted, I'm a massive F1 fan, and there was a post about Lando winning. Yes, go Lando. The F1 yesterday. If you're not interested, don't worry. And someone wrote about it, and I made a comment on that post, which has got over 2,000 views.
Right.
I make some random comment about Lando Norris, and I get 2,000 views. I write something really important on LinkedIn, and no one gives a damn.
Yeah. So you're right, and that's it. If you comment about anything that doesn't have any value but is popular, the colour of toast or the colour of tea, or I've got to hate these posts, you'll get thousands, but nobody wants to see, or I certainly don't want to see that. But not Formula One, that's fine. But but if you post something valuable and interesting to your hiring manager, visibility is going to be very low.
Yeah, absolutely. So
we'll do it.
Yeah, hundreds of questions for a post or reply, but only a few emoji reactions and comments. Yeah, listen, it's a mess. I mean, I've got, it doesn't. You said you got 13,000 followers. I think I'm up at about 17 and a half or something like that, and it's still tumbleweed. Still tumbleweed, and yet some people are writing the most ridiculous things and getting so much adoration for it. Not that I'm bitter or twisted, it's absolutely fine.
But the crazy thing is, so if you put a comment on somebody's post, then sometimes it seems to be kind of, then my follower numbers somehow propels that post.
Well,
So I got a feedback. Somebody said to me, "Thank you so much for commenting, because this comment got something like 6,000 views, and their posts don't normally get anything like that." So that was a weird blip.
so
Yeah. So
yeah. So maybe at the moment it's just about commenting is more powerful. I would recommend doing it. The thing is, if you do a few good posts, maybe a couple a week or something like that, or even one a week, and it's really clear who you're speaking to, and it's describing what you're brilliant at, or something, or it's personal. I don't know, anything like that that people are going to warm to. People will look at that if they are looking. Most recruiters will start looking at what you've done online. So it's worth having it in there anyway. So I wouldn't worry about the numbers.
that's a really good point. I was going to say that I post now, not necessarily for any kind of virality, I never did anyway, but for the impressions then. But it's knowing that I'm going to probably interview with someone, or some recruiter is going to come and look at my LinkedIn profile, and they can then read the kind of things that I talk about. So
And
it's,
your posts last week were on fire.
were they?
Absolutely, I love them. I love the AI pics as well. I love that.
Oh,
That was so good. So, yeah, if you want to know how to be visible and what to say and how to say it, you need to look at Vanessa's posts. They're really good. Really, really good. I'll put you under pressure. But they're great. You are walking the talk, and I like that a lot. They're
and that's the other
interesting.
thing. Sorry, go on. You can.
No, so they're interesting and they're eye-catching. They're memorable. There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Stand out. You got to stand out in the feed. But yeah, the numbers weren't great for them either. It doesn't matter. The other thing you can do now, whilst you're still in work mode, is to create posts that you can post over the coming weeks. And obviously, you can be a bit more lighthearted, you can be a bit more festive. But whilst you're still at your desk in work mode, start creating and preparing your content, because then later on, when you're not really in the mood, you've got something in your back pocket to throw out there.
Absolutely, yeah. Do it when the mood catches you. This is interesting. So commenting when you have a lot of followers will generate that notification. Vanessa commented on this post. So I can now see how those with high followers can boost others. Right. So the other thing is, I mean, we don't believe in pods, but you know what?
No, we don't, Sarah. Stop it.
But the point is, I will support Vanessa. Vanessa will support me because we like each other's posts and we're friends. So I have no problem if somebody says to me, "Would you help?" I mean, I'm not. It doesn't matter whether I do or don't. By the way, it's not going to make or break you. But if you want some help, people generally will say yes. And I'd love everybody to comment on mine if you found it interesting, or even if you didn't. I don't really care. But I would love you to comment.
Ring the bell, can't you? For example, Sarah, I usually don't miss your post if I'm on LinkedIn, because I've rung your bell and I've told LinkedIn that I want to be notified of your posts.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I'm not a fan of the pod, but if anyone wants me to ring their bell so that I will comment on your posts, then let us know.
Absolutely. And sometimes I will miss people's posts because I'm not on that day, whatever it is. Melinda asked me to comment on one of hers the other week. Do it, please do it. Yeah, we all need support. So although it's not pod-like and it's not, what you'll get with us is actually relevant comments generally, unless it's a really mind-blowing post in which I might say something really random because I can't think what to say. But generally, you'll get a decent comment. In an office environment, you say something in a meeting that can positively affect 400 people and you receive actual accolades for a couple of weeks that give you enormous confidence. That's so true. To us right now, either as a consultant, coach, running your own business, or a job seeker, the office is LinkedIn, isn't it?
Yeah,
that is the office. So how are we doing on time? We have 1 minute left.
Did you see? So Charlotte Carter, I think it was. She talked about this at the minute in LinkedIn visibility and reach. And you can go to, and don't do this because it will not help you. But you can buy 1,000 likes. There are places you can go. I know, I was completely mind blown. And there they were. She had like 3 comments, but she'd got like 1,117 likes because she bought. I mean, I don't know what LinkedIn's playing at. If it's allowing people to game the system like that. But I get mind
Or
blown.
maybe they sell it. Maybe they sell the likes. I don't know.
You see more now, don't you? LinkedIn asking whether you want to promote to your post.
Yeah, it's really interesting. One of the posts I looked at today, he had 150 likes within about 10 minutes and only one comment. I see you. Listen, look for the people that are getting really low traction on their posts. We're honest.
Yes.
We're honest and we're proud.
Integrity is very important, especially when you're looking for a role, because nobody wants to hire someone who they can't trust.
And what a perfect note to finish on. Listen, thank you everybody for joining us today, for your comments. We will be back on the first full week, which is the 5th,
6th, something like that.
Fifth? No, it's the 5th. It's the 5th.
5th. It is. You're right.
Now I say that I'm actually not going to be here on the 5th because I'm actually training a group of amazing people on the 5th. So we'll have a chat about that. But we'll be back in the new year. All right, we'll definitely be back. Don't worry. In the meantime, keep us posted. Send us messages if you want our support. Put your hat on. If you want our support, ask for it. I'm going to put into this link as well access to the one-to-one call with me, the 30-minute call. If you feel that would be helpful, we can have a chat about what your issues are, how I can help you, or just stick you in the direction of other people that might be even more helpful. Remember, Christmas is a time to enjoy, relax, have fun, eat mince pies, drink sherry if you have a bottle, if you don't buy one. And keep resilient. I know some people have been looking for some time now, but keep positive. Your perfect job is out there. Do the right thing. Show up. Think about the future. And here's to an amazing 2026. Vanessa, you've been a star. You've shared loads. Thank you. And I've been amazing too. So there we go.
There you are. Yeah, have a wonderful Christmas, everybody. And we are still around. So if you want to ask questions or contact us in the meantime, always happy to help however we can. But yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, everybody. And we'll see you
soon
in 2026.
Thanks, Darren. Thank you, everybody.